Yo, what's good? It's Chosen NC, and I'm back with another video. And for this video, I really just want to talk about your inner child and about who you are right now. You gotta understand that the person that you are right now is a very beautiful person. You have became the exact role model that you needed when you were a child. You gotta understand that you are the epitome of source. You are the epitome of greatness, and you have embodied divine alignment within your life to truly embody and embrace your inner child. Now it's time for your inner child to shine. You gotta understand that your inner child probably wasn't given the room or the capacity to be able to express itself through childhood, but now it's time for you to give yourself back this capacity to allow yourself to live your life and express yourself, express your joy and creativity for who you really are. You gotta understand that life is beautiful because of who you are, because you have kept your pure heart through all experiences, because you have kept a clean slate through all experiences, not carrying the baggage from one situation or one experience onto the next. And this is just such a beautiful thing that you have cultivated within your life, cultivated a divine love within yourself, a true divine love story, just loving yourself more and more each and every day, and truly embracing and express yourself for who you are. So the first thing I want to talk about is that you have to allow your inner child to shine right now. You know, you have to take the back seat within your adult self and who you are right now in this current moment, and just allow your inner child to shine, as your inner child knows the path, it knows the way, and it just wants to show you it. You know, it wants to express itself. It wants you to embrace yourself. You know, embrace all aspects of yourself and just lead by example. It wants to try finally be given the space to actually take up space, you know, to actually do the things it wanted to do, to express its joy, to express its creativity. And now that it's time that you give it to yourself. And also, you gotta understand that your inner child has been waiting for you to truly come into self-awareness of the being that you have grown into today. You gotta understand that there is no one else like you. You are a beautiful being, and you are the person that you needed within your childhood. You know, you may not have had many role models within your life. You may not have had people to look up to within your life, but you have became the very person that you needed when you were younger. And you just gotta love yourself for this. You know, you gotta accept the level that you are at right now within your life, because this is such a beautiful and sacred thing. You know, just honor yourself and celebrate yourself. It's time for you to celebrate your inner child and celebrate who you are right now. You know, you gotta look back and do the things that you love doing as a child. Just celebrate and just build a divine connection with yourself. Understanding that it is all parts of yourself that you are accepting, all parts of yourself that you are loving, and you're not neglecting any part of yourself, as it is all contributing into who you are today. And this is just such a beautiful thing, because when you look at it, you are becoming the very thing that you always wanted within your life. You are becoming the very coolest thing that you ever wanted within your life. You know, your inner child is probably looking at you right now just saying, damn, I have grown into such a beautiful person. You know, I have grown into such a divine, pure-hearted person, and this is something that I could never take away. I would never take away any experience from myself, because I've grown into who I am because of everything I experienced, because of my heart, because of my soul. You know, my soul is always radiating divine light, and it's always expressing itself in its truth. And that's how you should be within life. You should always be expressing your truth, always expressing your authenticity, no matter what anyone has to say about it, or what any limiting beliefs has to say about it. You know, just always stay yourself, always love yourself, and understand that this is more than doing it for the current version of yourself. This is doing it for the younger self of you. You know, doing it for your inner child, doing it so you can understand and allow yourself to play. You know, play is directly linked to your abundance. You know, allowing yourself to play, allowing yourself to create time and space and intent for your joy, for your creativity, is going to allow you to catapult yourself into abundance. So just allow yourself to play, allow yourself to smile, allow yourself to do the things that you really wanted to do when you were a child. This whole time that you were growing yourself and really just experiencing everything within your life, you were reparenting your inner child the way that you needed to when you were a child. You gotta understand that you probably seen things that you had to navigate against when you were a child. You probably had to grow up more faster than others, and you had to just separate yourself from others. But now it's time that you truly embrace yourself and embrace your inner child. Come back into alignment with your inner child and just allow it to take the lead. You know, you got to give your inner child the controller, allow it to play the game, allow it to play the game of life, and just lead with joy. Allow it to lead with creativity. because that's a true embodiment of who you are. You know, our inner child is the first form of ourselves. It's the first form and the purest form of ourselves before we were introduced into conditions, before we were introduced to programs. You know, you gotta love yourself and just allow yourself to fall back into who you once were. Not fall back into old habits or bad habits, but fall back into the pure being and the innocent, naive being within yourself. And not naive out of a negative perspective, but naive where you can see the beauty of life, where you experience the beauty and you truly love the beauty within your life as you see it all as a reflection of yourself. So understand that you have grown into a beautiful being. You have grown into the direct role model that you needed when you were a young child. You know, you just gotta represent yourself, represent your inner child each and every day, understanding that you are doing more than enough within your life. You have grown into a beautiful being. Peace.